Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crypto Pulse Weekly. Um, we're back again this week to talk about what's going on in the markets and to give a few snippets about what to expect in the coming days, weeks, and months. So let's get started without much ado, uh, given that we have very few things to cover today. Um, in the news, a couple of interesting stuff I wanted to talk about. The first thing was that MasterCard, yeah, MasterCard launched a crypto credential service that they want to use for cross-border transfer. While this has not made the news and it's not headline news, I think it's a significant indication. That's the word I was looking for. It was a significant indication of what is to come. And like I say, don't listen to what big money is saying or smart money is saying. Instead, look at where they're trading or look at what money moves they're making. So what Mastercard has done is to set up a service that allows people to do cross-border transfer. Essentially, trying to scuttle, well, not scuttle, trying to take some market share from traditional exchanges. So traditional exchanges today, for the benefit of those people who do not know, traditional exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, and until recently Paxful, um, have a service called P2P. Many of you are aware of P2P if you are not new to crypto. And what this service does is it allows people to offer an on ramp into crypto, regardless of their geographical location. So, depending on where you are, you can choose the currency you are interested in, and you'll find, willing sellers and buyers who are able to transmit with you. So, let's say you're in Nigeria and you went on KuCoin, you're able to look for people who want to sell and buy crypto with Naira, and then you trade with them. While KuCoin serves as the arbitrator and holds the money in escrow till the transaction is done. Now, what MasterCard is doing is trying to get into that space on a global and a corporate level. So, to give you an idea of how difficult it is on a corporate level to wire money across countries, depending on which country, in fact, there are some countries you can't wire money to as a corporate entity because they are on what you call the sanctions list. If they are not on the sanctions list, it will take maybe like 2 to 5 working days. Any amount of money for that matter, be it 1,000 or $10,000 or 100,000. If it's a corporate entity or from one corporate entity to another across borders, cross-border transfer is a pain in the air. It's a pain in the bum, to be honest. And if Mastercard is able to scale up in this area, I think that they will scoop up a lot of money because it immediately makes it like, I mean, you can get your money in minutes. That's what it means. You don't need to wait for one international settlement bank somewhere. The old traditional way of transferring money is so tedious and it's so mind-boggling that it looks like it was deliberately made that way to make life difficult for people. That's the only way. That's the only explanation I have for it. Especially in the United States. United States now has they're just trying to do faster payment. I mean, there is faster payment here in the UK. If you transfer money from a UK bank to another one, it should be in within 30 seconds to 2 minutes. That money should reflect on a good day. But in the US, it's not the same. If you transfer money, even within the US, from the same bank branch to another bank branch, I mean, let's say it was Bank of America to Bank of America in New York to Bank of America in Atlanta, it might take you 24 hours or 2 days. And it's not, in this day and age that we have the kind of technologies that we have, it's not really acceptable. But what this tells me is that Mastercard is positioning for the next bull run. Let me just put it out there. Mastercard is positioning for the next bull run, and they want to make sure that they have the biggest market share when everybody's eye opens to the crypto world. Like I keep saying, always keep at the back of your mind that there's Bitcoin and there's crypto, because if you mix the two together, then you misunderstand the value that each of them bring. Bitcoin is what gives us the opportunity to have the conversations we're having today, meaning it's the platform. Crypto is just digital. Like I said it over this week, I said it's almost like digital Wall Street. The only difference is that Wall Street is not fully involved, and it's cross border. It's not restricted to any country. Anybody can participate from anywhere, as long as you have the internet, and it's not your internet is not restricted like North Korea or China. So really, what these guys are positioning for is the next bull run, because by the next bull run, two things will be clear. One, people will suddenly realize that the dollar is not as strong as they think it is. Two, that the banks cannot help you keep your money, and that you actually, I'm sorry to use the word, financial fool to think that keeping the money in the bank is the best form of thing to do. So what will then happen is people will start looking other ways to see other ways that they can, store value. Some people will buy gold, some people will buy precious metals, some people will buy silver. People who are more savvy and more technologically inclined will look to things like Bitcoin and crypto. But for you, my listener, I think you should make up your mind how you want to position. Usually, most people in crypto will say, 50% Bitcoin, 50% altcoin, then out of the altcoin, 50% Ethereum, then all the rest you devote to everything else in between. And the reason most people try to play it that way is because you cannot lose, especially when you're conscious of the market cycle. You see, there's a scripture that says something like time and chance. I think it's Ecclesiastes in the Bible that talks about time and chance being the determining factor to the advancement of people in life. That statement is not just it's not just valid for people. It's also valid for organizations. I've studied business a lot, both academically and otherwise, and I can say for sure that a market can or a business can blossom just on the fact that it came up at the right time. Another one can just go into the drinks because it came up at the right time. There were businesses in 1998 and 1999 that they were just profitable because they had .com at the end of their name. Because why? That was the .com era. Anything that had .com at the back of it then was the new thing. People were making tons of money just because they added .com. Even an hotel added .com to their name, and their stocks went to the roof just on the back of that, because that was the time, that was the season in which you had the boom in that market cycle. And I like the way the Greeks analyze or explain time. And I think Yoruba language has something like that. Like, you know, they talk about time in two sense in Greek. They talk about time in terms of chronology, and they talk about time in terms of season. And they use not the same word, but they connote the same thing. So the chronology talks about the day-to-day activity, while the season talks about the opportunities that are unveiling itself over a period of time. And I think Yoruba language does something like that when it says something about igba ati akoko, something like that. Meaning akoko is the time, igba is like the season, and when you understand that everything that has to do with life is about times and season, when you get in at the right time, you appear like you are a professional or you're a magician. When you show up at the perfect time, at the right opportunities, your preparations meet your opportunities and you become a star. And there are so many analogies I can give you, but let me give you a very simple analogy. Think about it this way. There are two footballers today that their presence in this era of football has literally obliterated the stars of so many other brilliant footballers. Two examples: Messi and Ronaldo. Everybody knows Messi and Ronaldo. But the presence of those two guys have completely overshadowed every single footballer that could have shone exceedingly well, like exceedingly well in this same era. I mean, one of such is somebody like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. On the level of skill, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about football today, but I'm just trying to explain the importance of timing in market cycles. If Zlatan had come, 20 years before this time, it would have been like a football god because he's so skillful for the height that he has. He's an extremely talented and skillful player. Unfortunately, he's come at the same era with Messi and Ronaldo, and it just makes everybody's skill pale in comparison. So the opportunity that time presents in seasons is what makes it most critical when you're investing. And the reason I'm saying this is because there's not so much noise right now because it looks like the price of Bitcoin doesn't know where it wants to go. But by the time the price of Bitcoin goes where it wants to go, I will no longer be doing this podcast because I will not have time to do this anymore. I will have moved on into other phases of my own personal life. But I'm saying it now so that people will see it in the future, can make reference to it and say, oh, yeah, I saw the video where he said it. Today, Bitcoin is 29,300 as of the time we're talking right now. In another 9 to 10 or 11 months from now, it will be almost back to 50 or 60K. And in another 18 months from now, probably will be at 100K. So anybody buying now, regardless, you're sure that you're going to make 300% within the next 24 months. There is no other investments, foolproof, that I know that can give you that return. You don't really need to do anything. Have had people ask me, I've seen this project, and they talked about, you're mining. I said, look, I've been there, I've done that. No matter how much percentage you don't see, I'm promising you, make sure that the only money you have there is money you can afford to lose. Put your money in Bitcoin, put your money in Ethereum, and put your money in altcoins. You are fine. And I said it last week as well. Once the markets begin to move, every coin will start going up. This is the time to dig deep. This is the time to start taking the positions and letting the market do the heavy lifting. When Bitcoin goes back to 60K, it's too late. Frankly, it's too late because the worst that will do is maybe 100K. I mean, best case scenario, maybe to 120K. But by the time it gets to 60K, really actually, it's too late because the moves have taken place. So understand that the time and the season is now to take that position. And the more people get into crypto, the more people get to understand this. Even though people still don't understand it, that time and season is what crypto is about. That was a friend's friend. True life story. There was a friend's friend who was a TFL worker, a low-level TFL worker. Let me put it honorably. He was sweeping the station. That's his job, sweeping the station and sweeping the coaches. That's his job. That was his job in 2000 and how am I certain? 2000 and 2010, 2010, 2010, 2011. So he was sweeping the coaches, and then there were three young, similar like university students, and they were discussing excitedly within themselves about this future of money. This is going to change the world, and out of curiosity, it's just like what are you talking about? And the guys started educating him about Bitcoin, how he needed to buy Bitcoin because in the future it's going to be so great. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know how much money that guy puts into Bitcoin, but he obviously bought a lot on the basis of that advice. The first bull run, he saw his investment go 10x because Bitcoin went 10x in the first bull run in 2013. He sold some. The person that was relating the story to me told me that he sold his Bitcoin, moved to Canada, bought properties, and became a property investor on the back of that. That he can't even reach him anymore. But that at that time, he was still telling him that he had how many thousand bitcoins? He had thousands of bitcoin. Let me just put it that way. Personally, that he had, that he has not sold, and he was saying, "Ah, this one I'm going to keep for my children." But thinking about it, it was just a discussion with strangers, and he took the action to take a position then and left it. And he was he literally crossed over from death to life, financially speaking. And like I say, this is once in a lifetime transfer of wealth or opportunity for wealth and wealth transfer. And people are not taking note of it because it's happening in real time. And because it's happening in real time, it's like it's happening in slow motion, and you can't appreciate it because it's happening so slowly. It's happening day by day, just like we're living our lives. But this is life changing. I'm telling you, this in the next 10 years, people will look back at 2023 and like, oh my gosh, that was a good time to buy. But 2023 was already 10 years deep. What am I saying? Was already 14 years deep into the process. But it's still a good opportunity to buy. Like I said last week, Bitcoin will at least go back to 100 or 120K before the end of the next bull run. Ethereum will definitely go into four digits. Definitely go into four digits. I don't know how far it will go, but definitely will go into four digits. Smaller cryptos, I mean, some will do 5x, some will do 10x, depending on where they are. But understand that now is really the time to take positions. And I don't hold brief for any altcoin. After Ethereum and probably five others, I really don't hold strong brief for any other crypto because there are too many competitors. There are too many people trying to take market share. Like I said, this crypto space has now become like the equities market, where companies are struggling for market share or getting people's attention and getting investors' attention. So it will continue to get diluted with more and more projects, and people will come up with more and more ideas. In fact, I was listening to somebody on Twitter saying that people are getting people are getting rock pulled. Rock pull is a term that's being used in crypto when people are scammed. They're technically scammed. What do I mean by technically scammed? The tokens are issued. People think it's a valid token. Then the developers just sell off. They sell off on the markets, and the thing crashes to zero or negative, and everybody that's bought it loses their money. The what's it called? Developers cash out and run away. So really, uh, I'm not too keen about other cryptos. But yes, as I promised, that if you bring um, crypto projects, I will talk about them. I've seen like five on the chat now, and I'll try to talk about them one by one. I don't expect to spend the whole hour today because it's Friday. So I'll start by talking about CHT. I think that's the first one I can see here. I heard about CHT. I'm just trying to remember where exactly I heard about it. Cyber Harbor. Yeah, I've heard about it. Um, so for this particular token, it's still very, very much early days. Very, very much early days. It's it's literally less than eight. What am I saying? 8 days old. So Cyber Harbor is less than 8 days old. It could become anything, and it could become nothing. From the time it was introduced to now, it's gone from 60 cents to 65. Again, spread your risk proportionately. Like I will always say, you don't, you know, and I think maybe it's just a Nigerian thing. When if you talk to people outside Nigeria, or if you talk to Europeans, let's take Europeans, let's not talk Americans, and you talk about return on investment, anything that's doing 10% or 12% is almost on the borderline of too risky from an European perspective. It's considered a very good investment if you do 12% in a year. because it means it's doing 1% one per month. So most of the coins that are coming out now, if they have valid projects, they will do well because they're going to benefit from the overall market capitalization of crypto in the next 12 to 18 months. Because all the cryptos are going to go up on the back of, you know, the movement of Bitcoin. All of them will benefit. Now, the benefit ratio, let me use that word, is going to be dependent on what constitutes the project. Who are the people behind the project? What do they want to do? Are they just developers that want to make money because they've lost too much money during the bear markets? Or are they people who are genuinely trying to, be what I would call crypto entrepreneurs, trying to create a solution or trying to solve a problem in the crypto world? So you need to establish that. There are some developers that create huge communities as well, only to rock pool people. But you need to qualify. You need to qualify and be sure that this project has solid developers. Also, that it has solid community and that it has the right partnership. So, like that's Cyber Harbor I just told the CH one, it's 8 days old. It means nothing. I can't say anything about it. I don't know who the guys are. There's nothing to suggest what they are doing or what they want to do. Um, they do have, yeah, they do have what looks like a website, but again, you can't tell because it's too early. It's too early days. The only thing that can give you a hint about whether they are for real or not is to look at what kind of partnership are they forming. When projects start forming partnerships or they are linking up with other projects or they are doing something, then you know that they're serious. Now, I can see the white paper for what's it called for Cyber Harbor. It looks okay. Like I said, it's still 8 days. The market capitalization. Oh, let me put it up. Let me pull it up. So this is Cyber Harbor. Uh, it's still about, yeah, 1 billion overall. It's only alive on one exchange. It's a BNB token. So it has a number of demerits for it, objectively speaking. Not that BNB chain is bad, just as BNB token, people might not take them serious enough. But their website look decent, but we've not seen anything. What you for this particular token, what you need to watch out for is the roadmap. You see, the roadmap is usually what tells you how serious the project is. You can also check out the tokenomics. They've done a good job in explaining their tokenomics uh, on the page as well to say, okay, these are tokenomics. Yeah. Okay, so I take it back. I take it back, bam bam. I just saw the bottom of the page. I just saw the roadmap. I was going to go all in and start bashing them, but I just saw I just saw the roadmap at the bottom of the page because if you have a project that doesn't have a roadmap, forget it. There's nothing going to happen there. For real, nothing's going to happen. They're just there to take part in it to make the number. Let me use that word. So the 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 roadmap seems fairly okay, but I'll keep it on radar. I'll keep it on radar. In fact, hold on a second. I need to now write it down because I now have a long list of tokens that people have sent to me. I'll keep it on the radar. The problem now with crypto projects, unlike before when there's a steady growth and you could always follow up. Now it's just crazy. You can have like 1,000 tokens created in a day. So you really and truly, you can't really, you can't follow everything because it doesn't make sense. So usually you just look for indicators about whether some of these projects are serious and who they're with in terms of their partnership. Who are they talking to? What is their roadmap? What is the tokenomics? Tokenomics meaning how is the overall token distributed? Most tokens have an 80-20 distribution, meaning most of the tokens are sitting with the devs, the developers. So it means your token can lose value at a minute's notice. So it's very important that you're aware of that when you're making investment into tokens, because if you're talking, so this one has 40% as community operation, 20% to the founders, 20% to investors, and 20% to, I don't know what ecological construction mean. I will have to look into what they're doing. They've mentioned a lot of things there, which is quite ambitious, if I'm being honest. Uh, but they seem to have some. So I saw some partnership. Yes. So I know about Ian Consulting Group. I don't know the other partners. They have four partners. I would research about them. But again, still early days. Very, very early days. I mean, they've not even done 10%. So it might be a good project, but only time will tell. The next one on that list was Sim 35. Okay, so this one, again, I don't know what they're about, but one thing that stands out to me immediately. So it's 1 cent, which is decent. 100 million. Okay. So the tokenomics looks okay. Have 5 million in circulating supply, just 5% or almost 6%. Tokenomics looks okay because you only have 5% circulation. Um, I'll need to check out the distribution. But what stands out here to me, just saying objectively, is it's a Solana based project. I have a soft spot for Solana based projects, full disclosure, because I'm aware that they have quite an extensive development team, and they have significant financial runway, meaning they've taken up a lot of investments in the last 2 years. So because of that, they're able to continue to build despite the bear market. So um, I'll be on the watch out for this one, because if Solana goes crazy, projects like this will be very good. That's just a fact. In terms of what they do, they're trying to do DeFi for synthetic asset exchange. Okay, this is something like what's the name of this? Synthe, synthetic. There's another token actually that's called synthetic that does something like this. But this looks like it's Solana based. Yeah, this looks good. Bum, bum, this looks good. Uh, yeah, so you can see Almeida. Those are the FTX guys. So they've taken some money from Almeida. They've taken from Solana Venture, Gemblock Capital, DeFi Alliance. So yeah, I think these guys are going somewhere. I can show you the two websites just so that we can compare. Those are the things to look out for when you're looking at the project. What are they doing? I mean, apart from meme token, if it's meme token and somebody said, okay, this is meme token, we're going to use community to push it over the next 20 months, then you know it's meme token. But when you talk about, what are projects doing, you can immediately tell what kind of project the project is by what you can see. These guys, yeah, maybe a little more, but these guys, they belong to the Solana community. So I think anytime Solana pumps, you can expect, and this one is trying to do a sort of a staking service and also a decentralized exchange. So there's deposit, there's withdrawal, there's, yeah, I think that's what it's trying to do. So yeah, I think that's what it's trying to do. Yeah, it's gonna ask for my wallet. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's trying to do. It looks like a decent product. Um, Again, another one to watch out for. But if you, I mean, you can actually, let me just say, let me look at the price. Oh, very fantastic place to buy. Absolutely fantastic place to buy. This is a very good project, Bamba. This is a very good project. 7.1. Wow. Sweet spots. Like really sweet spots. One, two, three. Hmm. Sweet spot. This is a sweet spot to buy this project, regardless of what happens in the bull run. this is a sweet spot to buy these projects because what it means is that one, if the market goes up, it's going to benefit. Two, if Solana goes up, which is very very likely, these guys are going to pump as well. So yes, this one is I'll take this one over CHT. The next one that you mentioned was sorry. Okay, I thought I had somebody talking. The next one, the next one is Dione. What is that stuff?
Hello, I'm sorry. Um,
How
Good
now?
evening, Dr. David.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry to cut you, but I want to find out, are you
go
saying we
ahead.
should buy now, we wait for it, for the price to come down? The SMY,
I don't think it's
you
gonna.
wait for the price to come down,
How much more are you
or
waiting?
because they're saying that this is, for now, the thing is
I
like
think it's sitting at a
54%.
good
We
price.
wait for it to come down.
I think it's sitting at a good price.
18?
If you ask me, I think it's sitting at a good price currently.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's sitting at a good price currently. Very good price actually. I'm not sure about the other guy, CHT, because it's basically 8 days old. This one has been around since August of 2021, which was just before the spike of the bull run. So you can see when it came on during the bull run, the price went from 2.3 to 7, meaning it did a 3x on the back of the bull run. This is exactly what happened. And it has since gone down. What will likely happen for this kind of project is that once the bull run comes back on, as the market capitalizations, overall market capitalizations start growing, projects like this start growing as well. And it has really very small market cap, 58,000, really very small. So yeah, I think this one is a good buy. And the 100 million at maximum supply is not doing bad at all. The Dion protocol. This is an Ethereum project, so it gives it a big advantage. But circulating supply doesn't make sense, and it's pumping. I don't know why it's pumping. Uh, yeah, protocol. Yeah, it seems to have some very strong community, improving the purchase of decentralized token. Okay, is it a sex? Is it a centralized exchange? Oh, it does have an app. Okay, this looks like a good one too, but hold on a second. Hmm, 2022, last year. Not a good time to buy this one. So I'll tell you why. One, the market cap is not verified. It's self-reported. Uh, Two, same thing with circulating supply. You can see the red mark on them. So I can't. And then the maximum supply is way crazy. Like 10. This is 10 million, billion, 10 billion. Nah. This one is a no for me personally. Uh, Velo. I've seen Velo. I've probably bet Velo before. Definitely. Okay, which of the Velo now? Because we have two Velo. I think the one I know.
The Velo. Yeah, this one.
Okay, okay. I know Velo. Velo's been around for a while. I don't think I've seen the white paper before. Yeah, I think it started out in 2000 and yeah, I know Velo. 2020. They've been around for a while. This one is a red flag. Okay, I'll tell you why it's a red flag. Apart from the fact that yeah, it's a BNB token, it looks like there's progressive dumping. on the project. So I mean, this is where it started from in 2020 at 1.7 dollars. It bottomed out in December at 0.1 cents. It's picked up now. It's going back down again. I think dumping is internal dumping is going on. If you ask me, uh, nah, not likely, not likely, not likely. Um, Moving on to Leox. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. I mean, that's nothing can become of this stuff, but just the basic. I mean, the first principles when you're trying to buy a token that you don't know about. Those are the things I'm going to be looking about. So this initially looks serious. It's Ethereum token. It's on Ethereum chain. Its maximum supply is really very low. 150,000, 150 million, sorry. And yeah, market cap is not definable. Okay, this is probably still on decentralized on Dexis. It's been up since April. No, this is 4th of. Okay, so it's April 7th. April 7th. So it's just 1 month old as well. What are they doing? Uh, Physical non-fungible token, tokenized physical assets. Yes, interesting concepts. I've heard about this concept in the last bull run. A number of projects tried to do it. But again, let's see what the community is offering. Galileo protocol. Heliox. Very high sounding name. Galileo. Okay, tokenized physical goods. Okay, fancy websites. Heliox. Um, yeah, still an idea to the best of my knowledge. Oh yeah, they do have very nice graphics. But other than that, it's still very shallow. Very shallow. Intelligence changing PRF. A little program with okay, so these guys want to sell they want to tokenize physical assets and sell it. I agree with the idea. A number of people have tried to do it in the last bull run. It has not quite caught on. So how do I explain it? Should I explain it now? Okay, let's explain it next week. Tokenize physical assets. Next week is the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th of May. Tokenize physical assets. So I'll talk about this next week as one of our topics to talk about because it's something that people tried to do the last go round, but it didn't quite catch on before everything went down. So usually NFTs are created as unique tokens. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, by the way. Just to explain, meaning they are not exactly the same. If you take $2 bills, $10 or $100, the only thing that differentiates them is their serial number. Otherwise, they're the same $100 bill. You can spend them anywhere. However, non-fungible tokens are not like that. Non-fungible tokens are very unique. They're like works of art. They have their unique signature and identity. And that was why NFTs was going crazy in the last bull run. This particular concept can help to provide authentication for real life, non-fungible physical assets like works of art, anything. It could be a statue, it could be anything that, will carry the physical blockchain address of the NFT for that physical asset. And you're able to verify that. that physical asset, belongs to that person, or the person has the NFT, which is like the license to hold that physical asset. Let me use that word. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. It's still idea stage. They'll probably, yeah, they'll probably still, try to shield their coins and try to get people to understand what they're trying to do. But till then, I mean, it's coming as a significantly high price. I'll wait for this to pull back before getting into it. To be honest, even though I like the supply, the tokenomics, but I'll prefer a pullback. Maybe what's the original price? A pullback to like 50 cents or more or lower would be a good opportunity to buy. Idea is nice, nice sounding, something that would still sell in the coming bull run, no doubt about that. Somebody mentioned NPL. Let me just do that. We have two more, and then somebody's talking about 1 million. I've heard about 1 million token before, by the way. Okay, so Bamba, which of the NPLs? There are three NPLs here. There's Meta Planet, there's Meta Plane, and there is Maple. Which one do you refer?
Let me check. I'll get back to you.
Okay, so let's go on to Nexa. I think I talked about Nexa maybe a week or thereabouts.
Yeah, you said you wanted to check it.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't get an opportunity, but let me just check their websites now and see for myself. Tokenomics is poor. Uh, bots. It has its own blockchain. When was this peak? This was also in April. So this is February. So why, from a technical standpoint, it's not doing badly. At 0.00017. 0.00017 is a good buy. Current price is 0.018. 1.5 to 1.7 is a good buy. This looks interesting because this has its own blockchain. So most of the other tokens I talked about, they are tokens, they're not coins. This is a coin. A coin is a digital asset that has its own blockchain. So a coin has a blockchain that issues it directly. A token is a digital asset that is sitting on another blockchain that issues that token. A good example of a token, a very easy example, is what's the name of this guy? Actually, any of the other ones I've talked about. So if you take CHT is a token of the BNB chain. It's issued on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's a token. Anytime you see something like this, mineable, it means that it has its own blockchain, and you can see it's definitely mineable. I would like to see what this is about. Not many people have the sorry for that, but not many people have the balls to create new blockchains. It takes efforts. Let me just put it that way. It takes efforts to create new blockchain in this stage of the game. So when people are creating another layer one, which is a primary blockchain, you need to try to examine what they're doing. So to offering EVM like smart contracts and native token services. I would like to see this. Proof of work, scaling power, mining incentives to bring. I like the idea. Let me not lie. I like the idea of a new layer one. Just because it's a new layer one. I mean, you don't very rarely do you get new layer ones. Just so to mention. So layer ones are usually the coins, the digital asset that have their own token. But this looks good. This looks good. The market cap is 48 million. I need to go back to that. 41 million. This is already sub. I don't know how this is going to pan out for them. 1, 2, 3, 290 billion, 2.5, 2.2 trillion. That is huge. That is huge. That's very huge. The reason why that's important is when you're looking at the overall supply and you're looking at max supply and then you're looking at the price, you need to consider how much money needs to come in to make that coin really valuable. So at the current price, the fully diluted market cap will be 387 million. They will need to have a very strong marketing team to pull that off. But I'll keep this one on my radar. It catches my fancy. I have no specific recommendation. Only put money you can afford to lose. But it's a good idea. I also want to find out if I can mine it. You never can tell. But it's a good idea. But I don't like this bit of the equation. Other than this max supply and total supply and circulating supply, yeah, that's 2.2 trillion next year. Come on, man, that's a lot. That's a massive amount of. I don't know why they did that too. That's a lot. Anyways, okay. Before I go back to the ones you said, let me quickly look at 1 million. I know 1 million. I've seen 1 million before. The token. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. You don't want to do this for now, especially when the token is migrating contracts. So it's a token on Ethereum contract. It's supposed to be used as a gambling token, and now it has the market data is on track. No, no, for me. I mean, I'm generally conservative when it comes to crypto investment because you don't want to you don't want to stretch yourself too thin unnecessarily. You want to position yourself on the things that matter, literally. So this is another Ethereum based Wasta. Never heard of it until today. The price has been sitting. Okay, I don't know what the issue is, but the price has been sitting around the same thing since inception, which is over a year ago. Well, we've been in bear market since over a year ago. So I don't know these guys, and I don't know what the project is. Well, maybe not. They might be able to get something out of it, but you know how it is. Everybody's trying to create a token to take a portion of that market capitalization that's coming in from Bitcoin. 1 million. Yeah, yeah, it's 1 million. I did say 1 minute. That other one I think was 1 minute. It wasn't one. One second. It was 1 million. I don't think it was 1 minute. Yeah, it was this one now. Oh, okay. So it's not. It's the NFT one that you're talking about. Okay, sorry. 1 million NFT. I've never heard this one before. 40 cents. Wow, interesting. For 3 cents. Oh no 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 no. This doesn't look good. Which blockchain? Ethereum. When was the origin? No 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 no. 24th, 30th of April 2021. 2021 when everything was pumping. No, this is a no no. No 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 no. Definitely no. When everything was pumping. Wow, that's not a good token. Okay. We talked about Wasta. What did I say about Wasta? Yeah, I have no opinion about that Wasta. It's not convincing yet. I've not seen anything. I'll probably need to look at the white paper on the website to see. But have I not seen this token before? Oh, it's migrated to another. Hmm. New contract address. So this is the old token. 66 billion. 2,000 holders. Fully diluted market cap 26 million. Calculated supply market cap 15 million. So half of its circulating supply. I don't know. No opinion. Something bad happened before they changed the contract. That's the first opinion I have. When anytime I look at it, looking at they change the contract address. Is either they got hacked or somebody tried to rock pull them or something shady. I'm not saying they are shady people. I'm just saying that it's a red flag for me, generally speaking. Um, yeah, so you said Maple. Let's do this one before closing out for the day. Maple $7 and 2021 as well. Maple Finance can institutional. Let's take a look at it. Um, still, I don't know what changed my. I don't know what changed my layout for CoinMarketCap. Okay, so institutional on-chain capital markets. Okay, $30 million deposited. Okay, smart move. So I'll tell you why I think this is interesting. Institutional institutional play is huge. If I had tens of millions of dollars today, I'll probably be doing something like this because institutions are on the sidelines and some smart ones are looking, especially medium scale, small scale institutions. They're looking at the market and like, how can we position in this thing without, without getting our fingers burnt. All right, this looks good. Price is not sexy right now, but this is an easy 5 to 10x project. Definitely, yeah, it looks good. 65%, uh, 65% down from all-time high. It's not a bad one. Not a bad one. Okay, and they're pumping out news as well. I think it's a good one. I think it's a good one. Okay, I think we've done enough analysis. I didn't even get to. I've not even analyzed our Bitcoin price today. Anyway, let me just talk about Bitcoin price before we go. Our there Bitcoin. Okay, no, not Bitcoin. Also, our there Bitcoin has been doing dancing Kokomo. So, like I said 2 weeks ago and the weeks before that, like I felt this area was an area that we're going to see you know, some hesitancy in the price, and I think that's what's happening now. That's not the right thing. So yeah, I chose another chart because my older charts were getting plugged up with too many analysis. So this tells us that the price is trying to break through this zone. I was expecting a 24, 25K in terms of if I was waiting for it at 24, 600 or basically at 25K. If it came down 25K, it would have been a straight through movement all the way to, hold on a second. Yeah, it would have been a straight through movement all the way to 38K. But the way it's sitting now is quite precarious because it's telling me that my stop at 24 34, 35K, which is still within just above this, almost coming to touch this upper limit. Yeah. So yeah, that's still about 10 to 12% from current price, but there's still a lot of headwinds. But currently, it's looking like it's gearing to still move up. But yeah, the resistance area here is telling me that it might not be able to withstand the pressure. But let's see how it goes. Things are already being things are already beginning to line up for the halving next year. So, but the current behavior, current price action tells me that the price is planning to go up, at least in the near term, to 31,000, and in the medium term, shortly after, to 34,000. It might not hold at 34,000 because of the resistance zones there, and it might come down all the way back. So a good play, if I was to think as an institutional market maker, a good play is for the price to go to 34, then bring it back to 24, make everybody freak out, then take it back up again. Thinking like an institutional investor or institutional market maker, that would be the reasonable range. So yeah, I think it's still going back up. I was thinking, like I said, I was going to come back to 25, but it didn't touch 25. It's barely touched 26 before it made it. And it actually stayed at, yeah, 27 thereabouts. So yeah. So that's all for today. Next week we'll continue. If I see some other token, I'll talk about. Oh, I have some actually that I wanted to talk about. Okay, no worries. We'll take them next week, and I'll talk about tokenized physical asset next week as well. Do have a lovely weekend, everyone. For guys in Nigeria, it's okay. Actually, in UK as well. It's bank holiday on Monday, so enjoy your long weekend and have a lovely time. So unfortunately, we don't have time to take questions today because we've spent all the time looking at the tokens. But I promise that we'll have some time to take questions next week. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.